Here we go, Leo and Christy, for your Leo Zagami show. The Leo Zagami show every Saturday. It's a tradition here, and we have plenty of news, of course, to discuss. A very controversial topic, and for this reason, the fact that we have entitled the show "Illuminati Wanted Trump Conviction to Unleash this hell, this nuclear war." For this reason, we have decided that in the second part of the show, and we haven't done that for a very long time, we will accept phone calls. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will accept phone calls. The phone number is going to be now on the screen, so take note. This is the phone number, +1 970 577 6369.
And it's because we're going to be on Rumble, so we're not worried about
for the
that.
second part of the show, guys. The phone calls will be left for the second part of the show. So if you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, remember that the second part of the show is exclusively broadcast only on Rumble and X to avoid any form of censorship. And it's going to be a great chat with our viewers, especially because we have my new book, which is conquering the charts. It's becoming a bestseller in Islamic social studies, Islamic history. So this book, guys, is really the book you need to have, volume 10. This is Islamic Freemasonry, which nobody ever talks about, and the secret societies behind eternal conflict in the Middle East. This book is, of course, one of the reasons why we are here today, because usually we have sponsors, a few more sponsors. Today we have actually only a couple of sponsors, and Christy's gonna, of course, reveal who they are. Christy, who they are?
A special thank you to Malgorzata Minta for coming through every week. I always read your nice little note that you send. She always sends something really sweet to uplift us, and I know it's hard to make a donation every week, and we just want you to know that we really appreciate it, and so does Rambo. So special blessings to Malgorzata Minta. Thank you very much. And also Bruce. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce Kodish. And of course, if you want to become a sponsor of this broadcast, of this show, you can do it through GoFundMe and Cash App. We will be putting the GoFundMe soon on the screen. In the meantime, take note for the phone number for the second part of the show.
Are you going to show it again?
Well, I'm going to show now the GoFundMe.
Oh, okay. But we don't need the phone number right now because we're not doing it until later. Are you going to show it later also?
Well, yes.
Okay. Well, it's not right now, so.
Not right now, but we needed to.
You can get your questions ready, though.
Yeah, you can get your questions ready. This is going to be a very, very special show. And of course, it's thanks to our sponsors and also to the readers of my books, Christy's book.
Yeah, my book too. I sold 3 books this week.
Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Confessions of an Illuminati Princess. That's also.
What happened to the music?
Well, the music is coming. The music is coming. There's a build-up.
It's like the old show when we used to take callers and we do the dance. And we do the news.
Then what happened was that we actually had to give up on the callers because being on YouTube at the time, they will always talk a little bit too much and the algorithm will be triggered and then their channels will be simply removed. So now that we have Rumble and X, where a lot of people are following us, this maybe is going to be the beginning of bringing back a direct relation with our viewers. Trump!
Oh, no.
Trump! They want to arrest him. They want to. They gave him 34. 34 what?
Whatever.
This
People in glass houses.
who
People in glass. It's just saying people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. People in glass houses should not throw stones.
What does it mean?
It means that if you're living in a glass house, you shouldn't throw stones at people because some stones might come back at you. It's just like we're all guilty of, God is going to judge all of us, so we shouldn't be judging other people.
But I don't understand what you mean when it comes down to Trump. I mean,
it means that
it's 34 charges.
I know, but
which of course is a complete political farce.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Trump.
What about Biden and all his crap on his side that nobody talks about? That's what I mean.
And his son,
and his son, and
all
of
today,
it, and everybody else.
Today they're actually talking about another 54 accounts. I mean, we are definitely living in crazy times. But here we go, of course, with our news. We have a lot of news, and we will be discussing also my latest book, as the news seems to be always concerning also the Middle East, especially when it comes down to Israel and what is happening in Gaza. Now, Biden came out saying he had some kind of peace deal, but I think that with everything regarding Biden, it's mostly in his head. And so, he's actually talking about some kind of peace deal, but in reality, Netanyahu says he still wants to eliminate Hamas. And so this whole expectation of finally having reached some kind of peace deal, I mean, Biden is talking only because of his presidential campaign. He's just, ventilating this hypothesis of a peace deal only because he wants to empower himself. He wants to sell himself as the ultimate peacemaker. Joe Biden.
On which people in this country feel deep, passionate convictions. And so do I. This has been one of the hardest, most complicated problems in the world. There's nothing easy about this. Nothing easy about it. Through it all, though, the United States...
Whoever suits the fact that George Soros is next to Biden on your screens, and you saw on the thumbnail at the beginning, George Soros next to Alexander, his heir. Of course, these are the people behind the Trump conviction. We know that to unleash possible nuclear war, nuclear Armageddon, because of course after a nuclear war it's going to be pretty hellish for those who survive. But this is Joe Biden, the guy who in this last week since we last spoke has given the possibility also to Ukraine to attack directly Russia, which is basically like declaring war and expecting this third world war to grow even more. And of course in Europe, because all the world wars seem to be very much fought in Europe. But let's see what Biden is saying regarding his BS.
His work relentlessly to support Israeli security, to get humanitarian supplies into Gaza, to get a ceasefire and a hostage deal to bring this war to an end.
Well, it's only in his head. Like I said, there's no end of the hostilities. Netanyahu basically came out stating there is no deal. This is basically what is happening here. And in the meantime, in London, Tommy Robinson has marched with a few thousand people in an anti-Muslim protest, which of course in London is deemed as something very far right, very evil. But the problem is that England and London in particular, London is becoming Londinistan, is becoming basically a dependence of Pakistan. And for those people who have always said, oh, Israel is the threat, is the evil and all that. I mean, guys, like I explained in my latest book, and I really hope that you will all take the time to read this book, there is really no religion at the moment that can claim an ethic and a moral superiority, because they're all being corrupt by the Illuminati at one point or another. The Christians, the Muslim, the Jews, they all are basically in the hands of the Illuminati. The Jews with the Sabbatean Frankists, the Freemasons and the Knights Templars for the Christians in particular, and of course the Muslims have a variety of secret societies and Masonic infiltration that is ruining this religion that was established in the 7th century, and that in any case started immediately with a lot of controversies, and so the not so peaceful beginning of Islam. Of course, Christianity
the Jesuits too with Christianity.
Well, of course, the Jesuits in particular with Christianity, because really, if we talk about the Illuminati and the Freemasons, we cannot talk.
I just think about Pope Francis with the Christian and the Catholic Church and what he's done with the Catholic Church. So then I think the Jesuits have ruined the Catholic Church.
Absolutely, the Jesuits are at the top, on top of the pyramid, just like the Sabbatean Frankists. So let's see the moment in which this evil really came out of Biden's face.
Hello, folks. Just checking this afternoon. The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed. Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case, not a federal case, and it was heard by a jury of 12 citizens, 12 Americans, 12 people like you, like millions of Americans who served on juries. This jury is chosen the same way every jury in America is chosen. It was a process that Donald Trump's attorney was part of. The jury heard 5 weeks of evidence, 5 weeks. And after careful deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames.
Check out now his
so
way of
evil.
watch his evil really comes out here in this exact moment.
you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
I mean, it could have been Satan smiling. I mean, it really looked like the epitome of evil. This guy, Joe Biden, who is using the judiciary like a third world country, transforming America in a banana republic. This is really sad because we saw for many decades around the world, at least since I was born, I saw all these banana republics doing the same thing, but they were banana republics. They were basically countries with no credibility whatsoever. Instead, now we have America in this kind of situation. Christy, what do you think?
I think it's horrible. I think it's awful. But it's just a part of everything. After I read your book, I realized that it's just we're all being played, guys, all of us.
Absolutely.
You can't trust anything. You can't trust anything.
Yeah.
Anything that anybody says. But you know what? I like Trump. I do. I like him. I can't stop liking him because he loves America. I don't care what he did, on the side with his personal life. That has nothing to do with the way he ran this country. He ran it well. I know it because I was able to travel around the country and see so many parts of it with you, and now I can't, you know, and people used to donate and now they don't. And so, I mean, I can see where.
And we were the victims of censorship.
And
They
we were
removed
censored so
our
bad.
PayPal for 5 times.
I hate Biden so much. I mean, I don't want to hate, but I really just he's just, oh.
Guys, welcome to the Leo Zagami show. If you're following us on, let's see where they're following us from at the moment. If you're following us on Facebook, YouTube, remember that the second part of this show will be exclusively on Rumble and X, and we will be taking phone calls. So that is something that
we've come so far since we last took phone calls. We were in the pandemic,
the middle of the pandemic, but because of the censorship of Joe Biden's administration, in the end we had to give up on phone calls.
And it was over his son. You had written something.
Well,
you know.
Also that was one of the reasons why they moved one of my channels, but they removed many. They removed 17 YouTube channels. Let's not forget that. 17.
That's so many.
And we could.
You just have to start over. And every time you start over, you get like less and less viewers. So, I mean, we started out really grand with like 20,000, and then it just went, and now we have like, I don't know how many now, like 6.
Well, at least we are building up a new viewership.
We're really
on Rumble.
careful.
We share also, of course, this show on X, and we ask the people who are following us on X, because X is all about sharing, not Twitter. So please share this show, make it viral, because today we're going to have a lot of news, a lot of information. Let's go first of all and check out what is happening with Leo Zagami's latest book, because volume 10, like I said, is becoming gradually a phenomenon. It's
a rumble into a roar.
no, I mean, and I must say that also the reviews are excellent. So we are very happy of what is happening with this book. Here we are basically with Confessions of an Illuminati. And as you can see, it has 3 ratings, 5-star ratings, 5-star ratings. So everybody who, and actually the incredible thing about these ratings is that even a Muslim, a Sufi, left this very nice review. And we ask you to leave reviews. Of course, if you are reading this book, please leave a review also on Amazon. The Sufi mystic said, even myself, from the Sufi approach, can appreciate this book and what it offers. Please check it out and read with an open mind. A great book and food for thought for current times we are in. Then we have Hero Paranormal, who says, stunning research and secrets connecting Freemasonry to its Middle Eastern roots. Highly recommend. One of a kind of unique work relevant to the subject matter by one of the best authors of all time. That's nice. Then we have another review from the United States. Always a must for anyone wanting a deeper understanding. Don't miss this volume 10. So run and purchase this book, because it's at the moment number 13 in Islamic social studies, also present in the ancient and controversial knowledge chart.
I want to say something about
Please.
If you're somebody that likes to go like down the rabbit hole, it's really a great book, because you really, like with Leo's other books, he talked about all the important subjects in his other books. But then all of a sudden you realize in this book, when everything connects with everything else, with all the religions and with the Illuminati and everything, you realize that, you know, it really is all connected. So
absolutely. And for this reason, I want to show today on my show Freemasons, a Freemason in particular, Timothy Hogan. Timothy Hogan, basically, I talked about him already in volume 3, volume 3 of my Confessions. And I talk about him again in volume 10, because he is at the moment working with Gaia TV. He actually has initiated, even the producers there has in his hands this Gaia TV, which is very popular amongst the New Ages. But Timothy Hogan a few years ago, like I already explained in volume 3, but I even went further in my explanation in volume 10, went to Turkey in Istanbul to hang out with Arunyaya. Arunyaya has been recently condemned also for acts of pedophilia to over 8,000 years in prison. And this video, which I'm about to show you, is shocking because it proves that American Freemasons went to Turkey and basically hang around and went on
Is he a regular Freemason?
Yes,
or is he a regular?
Both. He goes into the regular lodges. He has also been worshipper master of various regular lodges. It's important, like I said, to understand what is going on. And for the first time, I'm going to show this video, which of course can be better understood by the people who have purchased this book. But this is the evidence, the direct connection. These people are wearing Masonic regalia in front of a guy who was being condemned and arrested in 2022 for, I'm gonna...
8,000 years is a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up after all the various accusations against him. In the meantime, check out this.
Evet, yayınımıza devam ediyoruz. Stüdyomuzda şu anda Tapınak Şövalyelerinin şu anki...
For those who are following us, the guy you see there on your left with, of course, wearing Masonic Neo-Templar regalia, because he also has his Neo-Templar order, is introduced in the studio of what used to be Adnan Oktar's TV, as a current Grand Master of the Knights Templar and Freemason and Templar guest from Colorado, because the others are also Freemasons from the Grand Lodge of Colorado. And let me show with you who is this guy. A court in Turkey has sentenced a televangelist who surrounded himself with young women he referred to as his kittens to 8,658 years in prison. Adnan Oktar, who has been described as a cult leader, was convicted of sexual assault and abuse of minors. And this guy went to him, and of course, he is also behind Gaia TV. Check out.
Timothy Hogan ve Amerika Colorado'dan Mason ve Tapınakçı misafirlerimiz var. Welcome, hoş geldiniz.
Ama birisi isimlerini tanıtsın.
Evet.
Oktay.
Sayın Timothy Hogan daha önce de ziyaret etmişti. Tapınak Şövalyelerinin şu anki büyük kumandanı, yani büyük üstadı kendisi. Başlangıç Tapınağı Egemen Düzeni, Order Sovereign the Temple Initiatic ismiyle anılan, silsilesi 12. yüzyıla kadar uzanan orijinal Tapınak Şövalyelerinin günümüzdeki lideri. İskoç ritinden onur kurulunda kıdemli mason.
Okay, we have the subtitles that are covered by the writing of the GoFundMe, so I wanted to take it off so you can have the full screen. So let's rewind it a second. Of course, he's introduced by these Muslims. In my book, I explain how this guy Arunyaya is connected to also the Druze, which are a very important secret society, religion operating in the Middle East. And I think this video is relevant because it's a testimony of what I've been writing in my book, demonstrating also the contact between the Western Illuminati, the Western Freemason, and their Islamic counterparts, as I've also shown in my book. In fact, Arunyaya Adnan Oktar, as is also known, was given the 33rd degree by an associate of the late Lishoje.
Hogan ve Amerika Colorado'dan Mason ve Tapınakçı misafirlerimiz var. Welcome, hoş geldiniz.
Ama birisi isimlerini tanıtsın.
Evet.
Oktay.
Sayın Timothy Hogan daha önce de ziyaret etmişti. Tapınak Şövalyelerinin şu anki büyük kumandanı yani büyük üstadı kendisi. Başlangıç tapınağı egemen düzeni Order Sovereign the Temple Initiatic ismiyle anılan silsilesi 12. yüzyıla kadar uzanan orijinal tapınak şövalyelerinin günümüzdeki lideri. İskoç ritinden onur kurulunda kıdemli mason, masonlukla ilgili çok sayıda kitabın yazarı ve düzenli olarak localarda konferans veriyor. Ayrıca Gül Haçlılar Teşkilatı olmak üzere pek çok masonik yapılanmaya bağlı. Welcome Timothy Hogan. Ayrıca kendisinin Amerika Colorado'dan arkadaşları olan mason ve tapınakçı misafirlerimiz de var. Sayın Paul Dickerson, welcome. Ve Sayın Scott Emmerman, welcome.
Şeref verdiniz, onur verdiğiniz, sevinç duyduk. Sizleri aramızda görmek bizim için büyük mutluluk.
We are very happy to be here.
Biz çok mutluyuz.
So he says he's very happy to be there. This, of course, was around, I think around 2012, 2000. I mean, it was a little over 10 years ago.
Why are they wearing? Is it a Masonic meeting?
Well, they were guested there as Masons, and so they went with the regalia to this event, which was amongst the members of Arunyania's cult. Arunyania's cult became very popular in Turkey from the 1980s, 1990s, because they originally he supported Erdogan in his rise to political power when he only was a mayor of a town, and now, as you know, he's the president. But something must have happened, because 2 years ago, like we showed, he was sentenced to 8,600, and I don't think he's going to get out of that. And the accusations are also for other members of his cult. They arrested around 60 people together with him. He was a very powerful Freemason in Turkey. He was practicing also sexual magic. I talk about it in my book. And so I don't really understand how it's possible. This Timothy Hogan now is actually one of the lecturers of Contact in the Desert, which is happening around the corner here and
they don't ask you. They never ask him to participate in it, even though his books are being sold in the freaking lobby. And the guy that's selling them, Brad Olson, who's our publisher, well, his publisher, not my publisher. I publish my own books and I actually make some money. But anyway, so, Brad is there and he doesn't have anything to do with it. But I mean, they don't want to, we tried to get you on there over and over again, but they don't want to have you on.
I think this demonstrates that
that's where they are. They're with what. So.
No, but the New Age movement has been taken over and manipulated by Freemasons like Timothy Hogan, who has, by the way, also he has also a lodge, an irregular lodge with men and women with a French charter operating in South Pasadena. So aside from his regular activities in Colorado with the regular Freemasons. So this guy...
I saw the lodge that he, in the one in Colorado, the big lodge there. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. It's huge.
Let's move further and listen what happened with Adnan Oktar, also known as Arognaya, was exhibiting Timothy Hogan in a way, like they were coming together for some kind of interreligious dialogue.
Dostlarımızı aramızda görmek çok büyük bir sevinç. Ama bu kadar uzun aralar olmasın. Daha kısa sürelerde görüşelim.
Yes, it's been too long.
Çok uzun oldu.
Yes. Neler yapıyorsunuz, biraz dostların faaliyetlerinden bize bilgiler verin.
Well, we've been doing a lot of traveling around the world, and actually we've had the opportunity to share our great experiences in Istanbul and with you to a lot of people, and we have a whole bunch of people out here in Istanbul right now that were all here because of the things we've shared about how wonderful it is.
Evet, İstanbul sırlarla dolu bir şehir. İsabet
Confirming, of course, the close collaboration, and this is Adnan Oktar when he received the 33 degree from an associate of the late Alicia Gelli. I mean, when we're talking about Islamic Freemasonry, this is a reality. And for the first time, we are finally showing you this reality, no, Christy? And we're doing it with evidence. Evidence.
etmişsiniz. Güzel bir düşünce dersin.
Yes.
Evet. Sen bir şey mi anlatmak istiyorsun?
Paul Dickerson'da Scott Emerman hakkındaki biraz daha bilgi verebilirim isterseniz.
Evet.
Paul Dickerson'ı tanıtmak istiyorum. İskoç ritminde 32. derecede Mason. Doğu Denver locası eski büyük üstadlarından bir tanesi. Osti ve Mason localarında tapınak şövalyesi aynı zamanda ve Masonik Gül Haç topluluğunun üyelerinden bir tanesi. Scott Emerman beyefendi, birlik locası büyük üstadı, tapınak şövalyeleri genel sekreteri, Uluslararası Sörses topluluğunun genel sekreteri ve Colorado Büyük Locası'nda eğitmen.
Ne güzel, ne güzel görevler.
How wonderful. How wonderful duties.
İnşallah dünyayı güzelleştireceğiz hep birlikte. Barışa, kardeşliğe, sevgiye bütün dünyayı çekeceğiz. Savaşlar duracak.
Inshallah, we will make the world the most beautiful place. Let's rewind. A court in Turkey has sentenced a televangelist to surround himself with young women he referred to as his kittens to 8,650 years in prison, also abuse of minors, and this is making the world a better place. These people are sick, and the Grand Lodge of Colorado, of course, should do something about this. I mean, this evidence needs to be taken to the Masonic authorities, because this is criminal activities, guy. Being associated with people who do criminal activities.
I thought Masons were supposed to be like these, upstanding, like individuals, you know?
It's shocking. It's completely shocking.
Silahlar yok edilecek. Sadece sevgi kalacak dünyada.
We say those who are not at peace with themselves are at war with the world. So we have to try to help them find peace.
Onlara barışı bulmalarına yardım etmemiz gerekir.
Evet, ama artık sevgi insanları da dünya çapında birleşmeye karar vermişler ve artık sevginin dünyayı sarmasına ramak kalmış gibi bir görünüm var.
And we believe very strongly that by having this sort of dialogue with brothers and sisters from around the world is really the most important thing for mankind in general at the moment. And we feel very blessed to be in a position to be able to come, for example, here and have this wonderful dialogue with the beautiful people that we've met here in Istanbul. The Turkish people are wonderful. And it's such an honor because we also are very mindful of the work that you're doing here, facilitating this peace and opening this sort of dialogue. And this is a very, very important thing.
Evet. Bir gün üstadların hepsini toplayalım İstanbul'da. Çok büyük bir güzellik olur bu.
Master Freemasons.
Yes.
Let's bring all these Grand Masters to Istanbul. I mean, guys, this is an important testimony that you're watching. And what happens with this guy who now is in jail is that he used to be very influential, and he actually had a delegation connected to a bunch of negotiators. How you say negotiators? Negotiators, yes. Including the late Rabbi Menachem Froman, which used to be an Israeli Orthodox rabbi who used to play the part of the peacemaker. And basically, together with an Israeli Druze politician, and who, by the way, was also Minister of Communication of the Israeli government, he basically headed a negotiation with Hamas when basically there was back, we're talking here about October 2011, they basically had kidnapped this Israeli soldier, Gilad Shalit. So he was active in negotiations with Hamas, and that involved also the Israeli government. So guys, this is very serious stuff that I'm showing you here.
Inshallah.
İnşallah. Orta Doğu'da birçok ülkede biraderler sabırsızlanıyor artık barışın, kardeşliğin, sevginin gelmesi için.
People ask me why I'm coming over here and what I attempt to accomplish. I try and use an analogy, which is if we all drive different brands of cars, VW, BMW, Chevrolet, those are our transportation to and from work. The different faiths, be it Christianity, Judaism, Islam, those are our transportation to and from the afterlife. And therefore, if we can just recognize that we believe in the Almighty, it doesn't matter what denomination we are, and we should all be able to live in peace.
O şapkalarınıza da temsil edilen kör düğümü, kilitlenmiş düğümü inşallah Mesih'in önceliğinde, önderliğinde çözeceğiz. Moşiyah'ın önderliğinde. Mehdi'nin önderliğinde.
Okay, so this testimony comes from a recording of Adnan Oktar Arunya's own TV channel A9, recorded in July 2015. And basically, he was heading this cult, which was described as a sexed up Disney version of Islam, which was neither Shia or Sunni. It was simply him with a lot of ladies. And guys, you just have to basically Google his name.
I remember from your book all the pictures in it.
Yeah, with all the ladies and the ladies. Let's see if we can find Adnan Oktar with the ladies, because there is a lot of pictures with his ladies. And he actually forced them to take plastic surgery to have them in a certain way. His version of Islam was definitely a very unique version of Islam. Watch him here. These are the kittens of
but they're not the ones that are underage, right?
No, they were not, but they were forced into having sex with the ones underage, and basically also having orgies of all kinds here, you know. And this is basically the sex kittens of Arunyaya. But let's continue.
Evet. Şapkalarınıza da o sembolün olması çok güzel. Çok anlamlı dersin.
Yes, we agree.
Katılıyoruz.
Evet. Onu işte 5000 yıldan beri beklenen üstad, büyük üstad çözecek inşallah.
Grand Master.
Hazreti Süleyman sizi ta...
And this is Arunyaya, who of course was claiming to be some kind of new Solomon. His version of twisted version of Freemasonry included, of course, also sexual magic. The representatives, though, that include Timothy Hogan and also others from the regular Grand Lodge of Colorado. I mean, how do they feel, these people, now that the whole thing has been exposed?
You mean Timothy Hogan?
And also the others. I mean, these are serious people, apparently. One has a security business selling bulletproof vests. Another one is, I mean, they are, so it's about really exposing this reality, and only volume 10 of my Confessions has done this. Only my Illuminati Confessions have been able to dig so deep, no? Mm-hmm. So let's listen this unique testimony of this meeting that took place in 2015 of Arunyaya, who is now, of course, in the Turkish jail, no longer with his kittens.
Yıl öncesini hazırladı dersin. Evlatların bu işi ahir zamanda çözsün diye düşündü dersin. Hazreti Süleyman'ın evlatlarısınız dersin. Hepimiz.
All of us.
Bunlar da isimsiz biraderlerler.
We all seek to serve God or Allah and be tools for Allah to bring peace into the world. We have a Templar phrase that says, non nobis domine, non nobis sed nomine tuo de gloriam, which means not to us is the glory, but to thy name be the glory. And so we try to serve it and submit, like Islam, to the greater glory of
the greater glory of a lot of bullshit. Christy wanted to say something
I just don't understand how they can even like talk about God at all. I don't understand. We have no right to even mention God's name. They really don't.
But they think they are so righteous. They see themselves as being so righteous. And like somebody was pointing out on the chat board, these people talk about peace, but then they sell weapons. They make money with as arm dealers or security operators selling bulletproof vests or other things. I mean, it's really incredible how really hypocritical the situation is. But also the Americans from the Grand Lodge of Colorado, who are so open in regards to this Muslim reality.
Obviously, they know about it. Obviously, they're corrupt because, I mean, if they go into that situation and they see all those women, and you can just see it. It's in front of your eyes. So,
but these people are hypocrites, and they are definitely. I mean, it's for me. You know, I was in Freemasonry and I tried to bring some clarity in Freemasonry, but it was impossible because these are the people. Timothy Hogan ended up initiating the son of Oliver Stone, who actually wanted to collaborate with me.
What happened to him?
Well, after he was initiated by Timothy Hogan, he was never the same. That's what happened. This is what happened. Sean Stone was never the same after he was initiated by Timothy.
When was that?
When we met and we went to Hollywood, and we, of course, Sean and Oliver Stone, I mean, the family.
That was before you wrote your book.
Yeah, because they helped me really publishing my.
Because Sean Stone was trying to help you.
Yes.
He brought us to this place in Chenega Boulevard where all the producers' studios
of course.
are. And he was trying to actually help you, like to find a publisher.
But then he also wanted to put me in contact with this Timothy Hogan because he said, Leo, what is this Timothy Hogan? I mean, I'm been initiated and I joined his thing, and I think, but I'm sorry, but
he's a really nice man.
Yeah, and unfortunately, these people get really manipulated by.
But
this.
You know, you should know better. So you're only your own stupidity. So
yeah,
I mean, this stuff is like clear, black and white. I mean, when I went to the lodges that I went to, I was able to see with my own eyes what was going on, and nobody could change my mind about it. No one could, and it was written all over my face, and I was just so completely just disappointed, really, because I had studied, you know, and I thought that maybe this was something, and it wasn't what I thought, and it was blatant right in front of my face that it wasn't what I thought. I mean, when you see a satanic symbol right in front of your face, I mean, you know what it is. So, and that was just one thing. I mean, and that was just one lodge. I mean, I went to another lodge, and there was a bunch of other crap going on that I've never even spoken about. Because, you know, there's people that I want to protect their privacy. But, I mean, it was a really crappy situation with crappy people. And I don't, you know, they say once a Freemason, always a Freemason. But I'm an ex-Freemason. I am no longer a part of that, even though they say that. So I was supposed to have taken that vow forever, but I take it back. I was fooled.
Here we go now with the second part of our show, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are following us, and I see there is still a lot of people that are tuning in on YouTube, on Facebook, please move now to Rumble, because for the second part of the show, we will also have phone calls. So it's very important. But in the meantime, let's continue. Maybe let's finish this and then we will go into the second part of the show.
Allah to bring about this peace in the world.
Maşallah, doğru.
It's correct.
Evet, buyurun.
I would also suggest that we reach out to those that seem to be unaware of their potential and abilities while they're here in this manifestation. They're sleepwalking and they're caught up with their day-to-day lives, not realizing that there's a greater purpose out there. And they're so concerned with their daily lives that they don't realize the collective egregore of society in general, that we can do much more together than we can individually. And we need to help each other and help enlighten each other with greater lessons.
Evet, çok güzel bu sözünüz.
That's a very beautiful words.
Yani milyarlarca insan hipnozda gibi.
Billions of people are like in hypnosis.
Ama bu güzel öncüler, bu sevgi insanları onlara liderlik edip o hipnozu çözecekler inşallah.
This hypnosis will be solved.
Allah vesile edecek.
God will make instrumental. Allah will make you instrumental.
And we feel such a tremendous respect for the work that you're doing, and also a sort of a
What kind of work? This guy was actually keeping those women, some of them, kidnapped, naked, 24 hours a day at his disposal. This is incredible, guys. If you think about the hypocrisy that is at work here, this is incredible.
Because we feel like this is the venue where we are able to celebrate our commonalities instead of fighting about our differences.
Great words, great words. Please sustain this show, guys, because this is a unique show that needs your support. GoFundMe is here, of course, on the screen. We have also Cash App. The Cash App handle you can find at leozagami.com. Another way, though, of supporting this show is buying our books.
And this guy is not compromised, okay? He says what he wants, and nobody tells him what to say, and nobody censors him. And some of those other people that might not be here anymore, they are compromised, and they are censoring people. So I don't feel bad about it at all. So there you go. If you censor people, you're going to be censored too. What goes around comes around. All right, that's all I'm going to say.
What are you talking about? Let's not mention any names here.
What goes around comes around.
Okay, let's continue.
Hep birlikteyiz, hep beraberiz.
We are all.
I want to get back the course off the screen so we can show the subtitles.
Always together. Always together.
This trip to Istanbul has enlightened me in numerous ways, but one of the greatest is to see the connection between the Templar lineage and the rituals and what is here in Istanbul in the symbolism of the great mosques that we've had the ability to visit.
Evet, çok yoğundur ders.
Yeah, very dense.
Bizim akademinin bitişiğinde Molla Cami vardır.
Evet.
Molla Cami'nin üstünde küçük bir yılan figürü vardır. Taş oyması. Bu da o binada üstadların faaliyet yaptığını gösteriyor. Bunu her yerde görmek mümkün.
But we can see this everywhere. These signs.
Banyoma da süs olsun diye eski mermerlerden almıştım. Dikkatlice incelediğimde mermerlerin üstünde çok fazla masonik figür işlendiğini gördüm. O resimlerini çekip size göstereceğim. Yani çok fazla mason figürü var.
Many Masonic figures on the marble.
Eski bir çalışma. Onları terk etmişler, o taşları, yani önemsiz görmüşler. Ben onları toptan satın almıştım. Özellikle Sultanahmet Camisi çevresinde, Ayasofya çevresinde yoğun olarak alametler mevcut. Zaten Üstad da onları video görmüştü daha önce de.
Yes. Yes, I've been taking them to these places in the last few days and showing them.
Kur'an'da da Hz. İbrahim rüyasında 11 yıldız, güneş ve ayı gördüğünü söylüyor ve onlar bana secde ederlerken gördüm diyor. Burada sizin de malumunuz olduğu gibi bu semboller masonik sembollerdir.
I have devoted the last few years to studying the Quran in your books, and I really appreciate how much incredible symbolism there is within the Quran, and you've pointed out many things that I didn't know before, and it's been a great gift to me.
Hazreti Yusuf'un demin anlattığım rüyasında çok daha detaylar var. Yani Yusuf Suresi'nde çok daha fazla detaylar var. Hep 7'lerle kilitlenmiştir. Yani şifreli 7'lerle kilitlenmiştir. Yusuf Suresi'nde özellikle bu çok yoğundur. Hazreti Yusuf'la 7'nin bağlantısı yoğundur.
In the story of Joseph, there is the meaning of 7 is very dense, especially.
We've come to learn that one of the numbers that we use in our Templar tradition that's important is the number 19. And we've also come to learn that 19 is very significant within the Quran.
Evet, çok kapsamlı olarak vardır.
Yes.
Evet. Mesela Kehf suresinde Hazreti Hızır'dan bahsedilir. Evet. Hazreti Isır da bir duvarcı ustasıdır. Kur'an'da bu açıkça belirtiliyor. İyi bir duvarcı ustasıdır. Evet. İki dul kadının çocuğuna olan yardımdan bahsedilir. Evet.
Kendi kültürlerinde Hızır'ın karşılığı Melkidezek diye geçiyor.
Melkidezek. Orada da bir dul kesesine mukabil olarak bir hazineden bahsediliyor.
In the surah.
Evet, o çocuklara verilecek bir servet olarak belirtiliyor. Evet.
Good.
Maşallah.
Daha birçok sembol var. Özellikle hurufu mukatada bağlantılar açısından çok fazla sembol olduğu açıkça görülüyor. Yani özel harfler, özel rakamlar var Kur'an'da.
Yes, the Prophet Idris is very significant to us in our Templar tradition as well.
Evet, doğru.
It's correct.
O da harika güçlere sahip olan bir peygamberler. Evet. Sizler neler yapıyorsunuz, faaliyetler? Biraz sizden dinleyelim.
Well, we've been trying to promote peace in the world. We've been trying to bring people of the different faiths together and help them see the greater light of Allah. And we've been working
For those
hard.
who have tuned in, this is the Leo Zagami show, and we are, of course, exposing Timothy Hogan, who apparently is the hidden master behind the Gaia TV station that has so much success in the New Age
Why is
world.
he the hidden master?
Because he has initiated the producers, like the one I met, that guy that I wrote about in the book. They were. It's like. He has initiated the producers. He has taken over from behind the scenes the whole show there, and so Gaia TV is an important
He
channel.
has no magnetism. That guy's a twat. I mean, he's
I
just
know,
like.
I know. But here we are showing the level of corruption because Adnan Oktar, like I said earlier, is a guy who has been condemned to 8,000 years of prison. And even Al Jazeera was forced to make an article like this to expose him. I mean, even the Muslim Qatari Al Jazeera has basically presented this guy as a crook of crooks, because once he was exposed, of course. Turkish cult leader Oktar sentenced to 8,658 years in prison, and here was the moment in which they would bring him to prison, finally. And the accusations against him were very heavy. It was charged with leading a criminal gang, engaging in political and military espionage, and sexual abuse of minors, amongst other things. So why Timothy Hogan, who is now a speaker at Contact in the Desert, was associated and was so respectful, because we saw what he said, no? Well, this is something that you will also have to discover by reading my book, my recent book, volume 10 of my Confessions, which is Islamic Freemasonry and the Secret Societies Behind the Eternal Conflict in the Middle East. Christy, who has edited this book, and me are here also today to encourage the reading of a book that will open your eyes and finally make you understand this web of power, lies, manipulation, no? And in this secret alliance that has been going on for almost 1,000 years. Almost 1,000 years. Certain Knights Templars unfortunately got corrupt. They started following this twisted version of Islam, which embraced a Mohammedan cross, which is in itself an heresy even for Muslims. But in any case, they were doing practices that were, of course, also connected with the use of drugs, of sex, and all that. And here with Nano Oktar, we have an heir to all that tradition, no? And you having here the possibility of seeing a video that was originally recorded in 2015. It was a broadcast from the satellite channel, because he had a satellite channel at one point, this guy, who was making millions with his twisted version of Islam, which was neither Sunni nor Shia, was simply a version of Islam where he proclaimed himself to be the Mahdi, which is basically the helper of the Messiah. So here we go with these Freemasons. On the left, Timothy Hogan, and these other two Freemasons from the Grand Lodge of Colorado.
Helping people find a personal connection with Allah. And so we've been traveling quite a bit in trying to do that.
Bana Kur'an versene yavrum buradan. Bu gayretleriniz güzel sonuç.
Yes, I think there is a gentleman who's asking me from volume 2 should skip to volume 10. Yeah, you can skip to volume 10 and then go back to all the others. I think he will definitely find a connection between volume 2 and volume 10. Somebody else is asking me, do you have a Patreon? No, we don't have a Patreon any longer.
We have Rumble, we have BitChute.
Well, no, but regarding a way of sponsoring us, we
had
use
PayPal, but they took it away.
So we have GoFundMe and we have Cash App. But
we had Fundly, but we were getting scammed. It was actually starting to cost us money.
Yeah, so we left Fundly.
Söyleyecek sonunda dersin, güzel olacak.
I think it's one of the things that we share in common is that we very much view this as a living practice.
Evet. Bakın gezip dolaşıyorsunuz diyor. Dolaştığınızda bahsediyorsunuz. Rum suresi 42'de şeytanın Allah'a sanırım.
Sorry, I always have to remember to eliminate the otherwise people will not be able to see the. Here we go.
Yeryüzünde gezip dolaşın diyor burada dersin ayet.
Maşallah.
Maşallah.
Maşallah.
42. ayet Rum suresi.
42nd verse of Surah Rum.
Evet. Hep Allah bizim samimi olmamızı istiyor. Samimi olduğumuzda dünyanın emrimize verileceğini belirtiyor.
We believe the best way for Allah to speak to us is through our heart. So we have to pay attention to what our heart says.
Maşallah. Maşallah. Evet. Önümüzdeki günlerde de yine Mason üstadlarımızı bekliyoruz. Misafirimiz olarak onları da ağırlayacağız. İnşallah sizlere de rast getirtebilirsek daha da güzel, geniş bir toplantı olabilir.
İnşallah.
İnşallah.
Evet. Orta Doğu'daki Mason liderler kendilerini saklıyorlar. Yani halk çok tepkili olduğu için Masonluk konusunda.
Now, this is the only truth he said. This is the only truth he said, that the Freemasons in the Middle East conceal themselves. Well, this is the only thing that actually I agree with Adnan Oktar Arunyaya. So, I mean, it's obvious that the Freemasons in the Middle East wants to conceal themselves because Islam is openly attacking the Crusaders, the Freemason, Greater Israel, and all that BS. But in reality, as you can see even from this video, there is a very, very close connection.
Ürkütücü hikayeler çok anlatıldığı için Türkiye'de de çok fazla üstad var. Siyasette de çok kilit noktalarda, yani çok önemli kilit noktalardalar. İran'da da öyle çok fazla
And he also
büyük
said
üstad.
that there is a key Freemason in key positions in Iran, and he's talking obviously about Iran after the revolution. So still after revolution, but of course Iran had a great Masonic tradition up until the revolution. Now it's of course even more disguised and secretive.
Üstad var. Kilit noktalarda görev alıyor. Pakistan'da, Hindistan'da, Ürdün'de, özellikle Suriye'de. Herhalde zamanını bekliyorlar. Onlar da zamanı gelince ortaya
So
çıkıyor.
basically, he's describing the whole of the Freemasons in the Middle East, and confirming everything that is written in this book, guys. So, I mean, go and get your copy of Volume 10. Go and get your copy of Volume 10 if you want to know the truth about these crooks, and about also the very invisible and unknown world of Freemasonry in countries like Pakistan, India, Jordan, especially Syria, and then Turkey, Egypt. I mean,
Can I talk about your book for a minute?
Yes, please.
That chapter on 9/11, that was really hard for me to read. I mean, I know you told me about all that stuff, but somehow, like, when I read it in the words in front of me, because you had told me that was like one of the first things you straightened me up about was the neocons. But I don't know if it was taking me to read it in that way that I finally understood. And man, it was terrible. I cried because I remember how duped I was, during that time. And then I think of all the Americans who were the same. And if you all knew what they were doing to us, you would just be sick. You would absolutely be sick. I cried because I was sad, because I just couldn't believe that people were so evil, just so evil. And then they sit there with that look on their face like they're good. And it was just really bad. It was really bad. And I'm just so grateful that, because I don't feel like that with Trump. I feel like he's not pure. And who cares about that? He just really loves America. When I saw him hugging the flag like he is right here, I just thought, this man is really like standing up for America, and for that I love him. So we all need to support him, because
this country doesn't have time either.
What they're doing to him is so wrong, but he is still he's so strong, you can't imagine. I mean, I went through this shit with him in Italy, and I was broke down at the end of it. So he really has God. I know so many people judge him.
Excuse me to interrupt you. Somebody's asking me, how do you find us on Rumble? You can find us simply putting Leo Zagami, and it will automatically come up. The search engine of Rumble now has actually been working much better, and you can put Leo Zagami and get immediately my channel. And we're not only transmitting on Leo Zagami channel, but also on Telepandemia Return. So, I mean, we have a couple of channels on Rumble where we are transmitting after the end of this testimony from these Freemasons, together with a guy who got almost whatever, more than 8,000 years of jail for also being a pedophile. And this testimony is important to make you understand the connection between the Western Illuminati and their Middle Eastern counterparts.
Özellikle Suriye'de herhalde zamanını bekliyorlar. Onlara zamanı gelince ortaya çıkacaklar diye düşünüyorum.
Yes. We will be leaving Turkey and going to Lebanon in a couple days. And I'll be speaking at the American University in Beirut. And I'll be specifically talking about the Islamic influence on what is to become what was the European Renaissance. And the hope is that we build a better appreciation of some of the things that has come out of the Middle East and influenced the world for the better.
Çok güzel. Sizin bu yönde candan güzel faaliyetleriniz kalpleri size karşı olumlu yönde geliştiriyorlar. Onun için Allah size hep güzel görevlere getiriyorlar. Dedeleriniz de öyle.
Your grandfathers also.
Asil bir aileden geliyorsun dersin, güzel bir aileden geliyorsun, hep güzel görevler yapıyorsun dersin.
Thank you.
Maşallah.
Maşallah.
Amerika'da hangi şehirlerde oturuyorsunuz?
Right now we are all in Denver, Colorado. So we're in the center of the United States.
Tam masonluğun yoğun yaşandığı bir yerdesin.
Yes.
Evet. Maşallah.
Maşallah.
Şimdi programımıza kısa bir ara verelim. Yine devam edeceğiz.
Okay, and we will also have a short break. And after the short break, we will be only broadcasting on Rumble and X. So if you are watching us from Facebook, from YouTube, now is the time to go on Rumble, put Leo Zagami, okay? And the phone calls will be starting soon after that. I mean, we're talking about phone calls, guys.
It's been like a year or more. I don't know. We started this show in 2022.
Even longer.
But then 2023, we didn't do any calls.
So prepare yourself and call us in from wherever you are in the world. We will be taking your call. This is a first time in a long time, and I'm glad to announce it. It might be maybe, if well received, a tradition that you would like to maintain.
Bring back the tradition.
Bring back.
It's my favorite part.
The phone calls. Call.
In that time, our world has taken so many steps in the wrong direction. Negative utopia, science, technology, social